Black Lives Matter protest organizer Tianna Arata was joined by family and friends outside the San Luis Obispo County Courthouse this morning in a rally demanding that charges against her be dropped. Police say Arata is responsible for leading a protest march on July 21st that blocked Highway 101. They also say that march resulted in acts of vandalism at the hands of protesters. They're asking the district attorney's office to file 8 charges against her, including false imprisonment, conspiracy, and inciting a riot. KSBY's Melissa Newman joins us now live in San Luis Obispo with a recap of today's event. Melissa?
Karina, today we were able to hear in Tianna Arata's own words what this movement means for her and why some are hoping that her case will be a catalyst for change throughout the community. Now, we also heard from Deanna Cantrell later in the afternoon following calls for her to be terminated.
If we don't get no justice,
Tianna Arata facing critics head-on Tuesday, speaking in public for the first time since her arrest.
being black in America, being a minority in America, being brown, gay, queer, trans, every day we deal with counter-protesters. Every day.
Arata says she plans to continue to fight for marginalized groups.
I hope to be a role model to people and to speak for those who don't have a voice, who aren't able to come out and protest, who are too occupied trying to survive to be out here fighting for other people's lives.
Arata's mom says the weeks since Tianna's arrest have been tumultuous, adding her case is now being politicized.
Racism is a human rights issue. My daughter's life is at stake here. Her future is at stake. She is my world. Do not let them take her from me. Free! Free! Free!
Speakers at Tuesday's press conference included Black Lives Matter Los Angeles co-founder Melina Abdullah, actor and activist Kendrick Sampson, and Curtis Briggs, one of Arata's attorneys who's now calling for San Luis Obispo Police Chief Deanna Cantrell to be fired.
Chief Cantrell's actions are vile, they're reckless. The reason we are here today is because she retaliated against Tianna Arata, a beautiful young woman who's doing everything that we want American youth to do.
Cantrell fired back in a webinar Tuesday afternoon, saying she stands by the recommended charges and feels she's a progressive chief.
I can appreciate his quest for that, but I think it's off base, and especially for chiefs that are reform-minded. We're not going to change policing without working together. And so I'm open to that, willing to sit at the table.
City Manager Derek Johnson says the city fully supports the principles of the Black Lives Matter movement.
We share the objectives of ending systemic racism, and we are working on continuing the support and improve our public safety and other city institutions.
One of Arata's attorneys tells me that they have officially submitted their investigative report regarding that July 21st protest. That report includes witness testimony from over a dozen people. They say there is still a chance that Dan Dow could deliver his decision on whether or not to file charges before her September 3rd court date. Reporting live in San Luis Obispo, Melissa Newman, KSBY News.
And today's press conference was met with dozens of counter-protesters across the street.
Move! Back the move! Back the move! Back the move!
The group could be heard throughout the morning saying chants like law and order and back the blue. People we spoke with say they cannot support San Luis Obispo County District Attorney Dan Dow and the San Luis Obispo Police.
There's issues when people are put into danger through protest. So we oppose protests being taken onto the freeway. We oppose citizens being put into danger. And so we are here to support the rule of law.
There is another counter-protest in support of Dow and law enforcement scheduled for Thursday evening outside the SLO County Courthouse. Dow has asked the public to be patient while the case is reviewed and says public pressure for a particular outcome will not be considered when making a final decision.